South Florida today on NBC 6 HD.
Hey, welcome back. In the spirit of St. Patrick's Day, we wanted to meet people who truly felt they had the luck of the Irish on their side. Well, two best friends faced trouble one day when they had a trip to go fishing, right? Go lobstering on mini lobster season, and then the boat battery died. Well, I went back to that spot with a survivor of that accident, a place he hadn't returned to since that day 6 years ago.
This is the space where I could have died. This is the space where I could have been here in a wheelchair with you. I could have told you my story from a wheelchair, and I'm not. I'm telling my story standing eye to eye with you and talking about surviving being hit by a truck and smashed into a boat.
Joaquin's best friend, who now lives in Kansas, was driving that truck and relives the moment he accidentally crushed his best friend.
That day was probably one of the worst days of my life. It's extremely difficult to watch your best friend and somebody that you love and care about that much go through something to that magnitude and be knowing the whole time that you're the one that caused that event to happen.
Standing here, I had the boat in my hand, and I kind of barely looked over my shoulder to the roar of the truck engine. The truck hit me directly in the back. It picked me up and slammed me into the side of the boat.
I put my foot on the gas pedal to prevent it from going forward, but the car was actually in drive, and the car basically went straight forward and pinned him in between the boat and the front of the truck.
At that moment, I felt my back pop. I felt just crushed inside. I felt my pelvis shift. That pain that's indescribable. I mean, indescribable.
I immediately put the truck in reverse and slammed on the gas, backed up as quickly as I could, and hopped out and ran down to, help my best friend.
After several tests at Baptist Hospital, he was given this news.
Shockingly enough, the doctors told me that due to my exact height and my exact health, the truck struck me directly on the butt, and I wasn't damaged.
His 6'2" frame saved his life, but doctors said it would be months before he would walk again.
In a way, I didn't want to hear it. And in a way, I chose never to hear that.
He turned to Dr. Martin Grossman, a chiropractor.
He was still using a cane at the beginning. He was having difficulty standing on his feet.
Those treatments, combined with massage therapy and acupuncture, has Joaquin walking pain-free.
And there is no one right way for everybody. And so you got to do what's right for you. And Joaquin did what was right for him, and he won.
One survival story out of thousands, and it's not enough to just survive. It's after you've survived, what do you do?
Well, since his accident 6 years ago, Joaquin has launched his own clothing line called Provider. And he also challenges people. He challenges you to perform random acts of kindness for strangers. Well, Joaquin is here. He is live in our studio today. So stay tuned to learn more about his clothing line and how you can provide smiles to anyone right here in our community. All right, Natalie, thank you so much. Here's my survivor. You saw his amazing story last night on NBC Miami News at 11. You just saw it a few minutes ago. And now it's time to talk about his fashion and how his fashion line called Provider is really giving back to the community. We welcome and we are joined by Joaquin Ortiz. So Joaquin, I know that Provider, you kind of merged two worlds, the world of fashion and the world of really just giving back. So talk to me about the message behind Provider.
Initially, Provider was a brainchild to fuse fashion and consciousness and promote the awareness of what we wear and saying, I'm going to support a message. I'm going to carry a thought of leaving every situation that I enter better than I found it. I'm going to lead with my heart. I'm going to go in with love. And the smallest act of opening a door for someone, paying someone's parking meter, to have that consciousness and say, I'm going to represent in the clothes that I wear these acts. Yeah. And from that, Provider was born.
And you live that message every day.
Every day.
Talk to me about conscious acts of kindness as opposed to random acts. This is something that you're consciously doing.
Correct. Conscious acts of kindness is an idea that we put together at Provider that's all about going out and consciously bringing a situation love and bringing a situation light. We go all throughout Miami. We videotape something as simple as going to a tourist shop. We buy a bunch of souvenirs. We go find random tourists and we say, we know you're visiting. You're going to want to take something home. you know, here's a shot glass.
Yeah, and we have video of that. We have video of you actually going out to sites. We have workers that were picking up Miami Beach, and you went up to them and said, "Hey, what do you want to drink today?"
Workers.
And we're looking at the video right now. What's the reaction when somebody says, "What? I'm sorry," because that's not something that you hear every day.
People are so blown out of the water when you are openly doing something nice for them. They're in shock. They're in awe. They don't even know how to react. I mean, the majority of people, when you tell them, you know, here's something for you, no strings attached. I'm not going to ask you for money. This is out of the kindness of my heart. They don't know how to react. It's so abnormal. Yeah, it is pay it forward.
Keep it going. All right, and with that said, you can keep it going by really wearing that message. So let's take a look at some. You have some models here with your design.
I do.
So let's take a look at the first model, and I want you to really tell me about the design. This one's really great. It's made for women. As we take a look at her now.
Correct. This is Natalia. Where she's going.
Let's take a look at the next. Natalia, come back,
That was
Natalia.
a tease. That
there
was
you
a tease.
go.
Did everybody get that?
You're gorgeous. We want to see you again, Natalia. There you go.
All right. So this is Natalia. She's wearing one of our burnouts. We place provider down the rib. This is I get this wrong all the time, cotton poly blend.
Okay.
I say pot and collie, but this is a cotton polyester blend down the rib. All of our shirts are designed to really contour the body, whether you're a man or the woman. We want you to feel good in the clothes, not wear a tube.
Sure.
And so that's the first one. It's in earth and it's got the silk screen. The next one we're going to look at.
And speaking of, yeah, this one also fits this gentleman really nicely.
This is Bernard. This is a very good friend of mine, Bernard. Bernard is wearing the original, which is a provider chest. This is a crew neck. It is also a cotton poly blend, and there he is, looking great in turquoise and yellow.
All right, about a minute here, so let's make sure that we get in. Our next model is actually someone really special. I learned today, this is Oliver's mom. Oliver is your best friend who we met in the story. And this is his mom. She looks gorgeous, as always. And talk to me about the message that's written down.
This is what we're calling Trinity Prayer. This is a Sanskrit lettering, a mantra or prayer. The top is Om. The next one is Ah, and the last one is Hum, which stands for body, voice, and spirit. And the Buddhists believe that is how we fuse this life together, of body, everything in the physical, voice of speech, of communication, and spirit of whatever you choose to call God.
Sure. And finally, a next design that we have here, the Eye of Ra that we're going to see now. And talk to me what the Eye of Ra means.
This is Tony, and Tony is wearing the Eye of Ra shirt. The Eye of Ra is one of the oldest Egyptian symbols known to man, God of the sun, giver of light and life to the world. This symbol is on every single one of our shirts. It's on the back mounted. This is one of the strongest, most appealing symbols. This is the men's V-neck shirt.
Okay, now I want to give Kevin some time to run back over here real quick because I want to show off these bangles that you made here. You designed all of these. These are gorgeous. $30 for the smaller ones. This one here that has all of the bling on it, Swarovski crystals, just $40, and they're really gorgeous, handmade in India as well. So beautiful stuff. You have the hats, you have the shirts, and more than anything, living the message of really doing something kind, no strings attached for someone else, really living positive and doing something positive out of the experience that you had, that you so graciously shared with South Florida.
Right.
So Joaquin, thank you so much. To our models, thank you so much. You can learn more about Provider by checking out providerdesign.com. Email him at info@providerdesign.com, and you can also find him on Facebook and follow him on Twitter. We got to get him tweeting. @Joaquin Provider is his handle. All right, we'll be right back. Oh, and you got to hug heart to heart, right?
Heart to heart.
Shut up.
Heart to heart.